Hey everybody, it's Brooke with the Buttered Home. Welcome to Messy Kitchen Monday. I have a special assistant tonight.
Hello.
Oh, I thought you wanted to be in here. You can't just stick your head in here. We need to recognize Reagan because she's officially finished with high school. We have not graduated yet, but she finished all of her classes Friday. Yay! And if we both look a little red, it's not because we're hot. Even though I did run and go work out at my favorite place in the world at Hot Works in Montgomery at Pepper Tree, and I will tag them in the comments for all you local folks who are looking for a great gym to work out. You can maximize your calorie burn there quicker than anywhere else. So I'll tag them later on Facebook. So all you Instagram people, you need to go over to Facebook to check them out. But I came home really quick to get supper started and got a shower and everything, and so I'm semi ready to go. But all the red is not because I'm embarrassed and not because I'm still hot, even though I should be. I rode with all the windows down so I could cool off as best I could, but we took a little day trip to the beach yesterday and got a little more sun than we thought. And yes, we did wear sunscreen. Most of us wore sunscreen. I'm feeling the burn just a little bit today, but not too bad. It, truthfully looks worse than it is, and I just spilled some of my ingredients on the counter. Yeah, get me about 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt.
Where's
Salt's over there.
walk to the camera?
So, this is the kind of thing that happens when we go live. We make a mess, and that's why it's called Messy Kitchen Monday. So,
Is that enough?
yes, that's perfect. Thank you. See, you're learning something here. So let me just put that back in here. And so now we have salt and dry mustard again, thanks to Reagan. So I'm going to sweep what I spilled out of the way. It's never a dull moment on Messy Kitchen Monday, ever, ever, ever. The only thing that could have been better is if it had just went everywhere all up in the camera for you guys to see and actually laugh at. But hey, if I can't laugh at myself, then I sure can't laugh at you. So I think it's healthy to laugh at ourselves and certainly to own it whenever we have little mishaps and things like that. It sure makes life a lot more fun. But anyway, it's National Barbecue Month. Now, what that means every May we celebrate all things barbecue because, truthfully, we're from the South. So, barbecue is a big deal down here, and it's regional, too. So, you've got all these different people, like in Texas, it's brisket. I think I did a post the other night that asked what was the favorite barbecue staple at your barbecue, and it was so funny because you know, most people would tell where they were from when they told their favorite item. You know, I had a Texan who said brisket. I had somebody here locally who said Boston butt. So, you know, it's so funny that, you know, I'm sure somebody's done this, but it would be really interesting to see a map and have all the different regional barbecue favorites on it. I mean, I'm sure it's already out there somewhere. If I looked hard enough, like on Pinterest, I could probably find it. And if I do, I'll share it. But nonetheless, every region has their own version of the best barbecue. So we're not trying to reinvent that here at the Buttered Home because we think that whatever is your favorite is the best. Certainly if you make it, because we love to see you cooking at home and you making things for the people that you love. So we're not going to do that. We did our only protein last week when we did those barbecue shrimp. And I think that most every region can probably agree that barbecue shrimp is a good idea, no matter what. And it's a good pairing that goes with brisket or Boston butt or ribs or whatever your favorite is for your region. You can't go wrong with barbecue shrimp. So that's why we did that first. Everything we're doing for the rest of the month is the thing that will make you equally a star at your barbecue, and it is your sides. So tonight we are doing one of the things that we're famous for, and we are doing a basic classic recipe. And I love history, so you know I have to tell you a little bit probably useless information about what we're doing, but we're doing good old-fashioned Southern coleslaw. Now, a few items that I found interesting about coleslaw is that it's actually been around since about the mid-18th century. That's a long time. But it really didn't make its emergence into the culinary world until mayonnaise was invented. Now, I know you're saying, oh, my coleslaw doesn't have mayonnaise in it. That also is a regional thing too, because we here in the South actually have several different kinds of coleslaw that we like. Like, I have a very good friend at church who makes the best Asian-inspired coleslaw, and it is just a vinegar and oil base. There's no mayonnaise in it whatsoever. And she adds all these beautiful things like sliced roasted cashews and broken up uncooked ramen noodles, and oh, it's so good. It's like my favorite thing ever. But what we like to do here at The Buttered Home is we like to give you a basic recipe so that you can take it and turn it into something that you and your people love. And that's what we're going to give you tonight, is a basic, classic coleslaw recipe that is mayonnaise based. Now, you can modify this recipe to fit your diet. If your diet does not include mayonnaise, first you will get a prayer of concern from me, and second, it will also say that you can just as easily use a healthier, heart-healthier oil in place of the mayonnaise. But if you don't have dietary restrictions, or if you are simply watching what you eat, you might be surprised at how this can fit into just a normal, basic, calorie deficit type diet, even with the mayonnaise. And you'll see why. So we are going to do a basic Southern coleslaw tonight, and it's fantastic, and it's going to show you that you know, you may not make coleslaw, and you may not know that some of these ingredients are in it, and they're all important. Coleslaw originated, like I said, in the mid-18th century, and it's of Dutch origins, and the word coleslaw actually comes from a Dutch word. It's spelled K-O-O-L-S-L-A, and it's pronounced coleslaw. So, and it literally means cabbage salad. So you could totally take a cabbage, shred it up, and that's all you would need. Or you could buy the pre-shredded cabbage, or you could do what we've done, because y'all know how I am. I love coloring my food. And you can get the broccoli slaw mix at your local market. Truthfully, the price difference in buying the pre-shredded and buying the whole head of cabbage is literally about 38 cents. And I'm sorry, I love home cooked and I love to do things the old fashioned way, but for 38 cents, I don't have time for that. So I'm gonna go and spend 38 cents and let somebody else do the work for me. And the reason why I choose broccoli slaw is because it's just not always easy to get good greens in my family. Cabbage is a good green, don't get me wrong, but this broccoli slaw has broccoli, carrots, and red cabbage. So whenever you're choosing this for this side, you're actually dressing up some really good 3 different kinds of leafy greens that your family can get into their diets and in a most enjoyable way. So I challenge you that whenever you think about foods that are simple, like this coleslaw, that you look for different ways to kind of spice things up to get your family eating better and to make it pretty. It's about presentation too, am I right? Because we eat with our eyes first, so that has a lot to do, another reason why we chose this. So into a large bowl, and yes, I love to use my 25-year-old Tupperware bowl. It's one of my favorite things ever. I actually have some Tupperware pieces that are older than this. My mom still has every piece of Tupperware that she has had since 1967 when she got married. If you are looking for something good to invest in for your kitchen, then Tupperware is it. And I'm giving them a shameless free plug because Tupperware, it stands the test of time. It just does. And it also creates for a pretty good vessel, not only to mix your nice salad, but to take it somewhere too. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So to a much smaller bowl, we have some really simple ingredients. We have some sugar, we have some dry mustard and salt. Not that we spilled on the counter, this is all brand new, so it goes into the pool as well. And we're just gonna mix those up so that that salt mustard combination gets incorporated with our sugar. And to that, we're gonna add just a little bit of white vinegar. And this, to me, is what gives your coleslaw the good old zing. And it won't take it long for that vinegar to kind of melt that sugar and salt, like just that fast. So, and I love doing recipes for May because I actually don't have to rush home and make something ahead of time, because what I'm doing here tonight shows you the finished product. To this, we're gonna add some mayonnaise, Duke's. A lot of you will disagree with me on that, and that's fine. But if you're on the fence about a mayonnaise, Duke's is my favorite and endorsed by the Buttered Home. Boy, I almost flubbed the dub on that one. What else is new, right? So, nonetheless, we're gonna add our mayonnaise in. And of course, if you wanted it, you could add in some black pepper or some white pepper, just whatever your taste allows. Now, one of the great things about coleslaw is that this is a basic standard recipe, and this will work just fine. Now, if you wanted to dress it up and put a little hot sauce in here, go right ahead. If you wanted to dress it up and put a little minced garlic in it, boy, that just kind of changes things. And it's all right to do that, and it's fantastic. That's why we like doing recipes like this, because we like to get you thinking about different flavor profiles in your food, and it gets you in the kitchen to try something new, and lo and behold, then you have reinvented the coleslaw or whatever it might be that you're cooking. So it's all about getting you there and getting you into the kitchen and getting you to try new and different things. Now that alone, that smells good. And technically what we've just made is a dressing. So you could actually use this dressing on other things too. And I'm gonna probably show you that next week, because we're gonna do something similar but different with the similar base to the dressing. Now, literally, that is, can you get me a spoon?
Yes.
That is all you do. This goes into your cabbage mix or your broccoli slaw mix really easily, and I'm just gonna kind of fold it in just a little bit to kind of get it in the center. And then I'm gonna show you my best trick for mixing it. And you'll see why it is a Tupperware that I choose to do this in. I simply take that lid and I pop it on and make sure it's good and secure. And we shake it. And that gets all that cabbage or all that broccoli slaw mixed in beautifully with that dressing that we just made. And now, everything is better whenever you have a dressing on it if it can sit in the refrigerator for a little while. That's not a lie. But I'm going to tell you, there's so much flavor in this right now that you could totally serve it right after it has been mixed up. And the dressing amounts, don't worry if you're wondering how much of each thing that I put in here. The actual recipe will drop later this week. But y'all, look at that. It's beautiful. Every single piece of that broccoli slaw is covered. You can look in the bowl and see that there's none wasted. You don't have any clobs or globs on either side, so that you have any of that beautiful dressing that you just made wasted. One of the things that I find out from people in doing recipes like these is sometimes they don't think that the amount of dressing that they put in their coleslaw is enough. What happens though is the longer this sits, so like what I like to do a lot is make this ahead of time, like the day before I actually need it. because as it sits in the refrigerator, that dressing, mainly that vinegar, is going to break down some of the natural juices of the vegetables, and it's going to become a little thinner than it is right now. It's still great to eat, and it still tastes really good, but like anything else with a marinade or a dressing or anything like that, it only gets better when it has time to sit. So this is a great make-ahead recipe, and literally it took me, less than 5 minutes. Probably would have taken less time had I not spilled 2 of my ingredients on the counter and then knocked one off. Did it, nothing, I didn't make a mess. Surprise, surprise. But this broccoli slaw is great. We are going to pair it with some inside barbecue wings that we've just made in our pressure cooker. As soon as we're done, I'm gonna throw those on a sheet pan and put them under the broiler and crisp that skin up. And we're gonna have a barbecue here in the messy kitchen on a Monday night. And you can too. It's amazing how if you plan your meals around simple things like your sides, you can kind of bring everything together and it becomes a wonderful, fun meal for you and your family or those that you love. So that's what we're all about here at the Buttered Home. We like to get you in the kitchen. We like to get you thinking about getting into the kitchen and planning your meals and doing things like that. I know a lot of you are probably missing Tanner. She's probably here, but she's at her house. Thank goodness, you know, everybody, if you've been following me long, you know that she is a hairstylist, and her salon opened back up today, and she has had a full day. She's got a full week for the days that she's actually going to be in the salon. So y'all all wish her well back to work. And help and join me in praying, you know, that she stays well during all this as we navigate new territory with opening things back up here in this great state of Alabama. Next week, we have a fantastic recipe for, yes, another barbecue side. I also have a little challenge for all of you. Because it is National Barbecue Month, we're going to give away a prize at the end of the month on the last Messy Kitchen Monday. And what we're going to give away is absolutely fabulous. And I didn't get it out. Let me see if I can find it, because this one is mine, but we'll be giving you one that is brand new. And of course, because I didn't look for it ahead of time, I don't know where Danny has put it, because he uses it on everything. But our friends at Hardened Seasoning, that's also local here, and everybody in the state of Alabama loves Hardens, and I will tag them in the comments. We're going to be giving away a bottle of Hardened Seasoning. Now, there is a trick to that. We're going to do it at the end of May. So this video on Facebook and next week's video are going to be your chances to win that Hardened Seasoning. And that is going to be done by you sharing our video on Facebook. So those of you who are on Instagram, if you have a Facebook page, you'll want to go over there and share that video. If not, get your husband or your kids or whoever to share the video, because we're actually going to be drawing from the shares. And I might also mention that before you share it, make it where I can see that you shared it, because if your stuff is set to private, I won't be able to tell if you've shared the video. So if you want to be entered to win, make sure you do that. Facebook doesn't like for us to tell you to share our videos, but I'm throwing caution to the wind. If you want to win a great seasoning, all-purpose seasoning for anything you would need, we're going to supply you with that if your name is drawn. So I will also tag Hardened Seasoning in the comments. Mr. Tim may be here already, and if so, Mr. Tim, give us a wave and let us know. And if you're already here, then you can tag Hardens if you would like, and then I don't have to do it. But nonetheless, the Buttered Home loves all things barbecue, and we hope that you'll join us next week and then the week after for another really great barbecue side recipe, and we're going to be giving away that Hardened Seasoning then. So, as always, we thank y'all for joining us. We hope you'll be back next week. And from the Buttered Home to your home, we love y'all.